Dear students, you are welcome for the presentation of Mr. Erşan Göksu. He is graduated from the Middle East University of Ankara in 1970 with PhD degree. Then he made MS studies in Turkey. He has another MS studies in Switzerland. He has been married as a Switzerland girl, I think. I don't know how can we pronounce it. She's very happy being in Switzerland. He made very good experiences, especially in international projects. He's going to explain today the topics related with the precipitous concrete used in many structural systems. You are welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for coming here. I'm very pleased of being here with you, dear colleagues. As Mr. Chairman has told me, I spent nearly almost half of my life in Switzerland, not only working in the practice, in the industrial region, as well in academic region. I was teaching in Zurich Technical University and teaching in Lausanne Technical University as well. And it was a great pleasure for me that our chairman has invited me to give this seminar. And I'm going to try to explain you not very, very theoretical part of precipitous concrete, where you can find everywhere, but especially a practical part of precipitous concrete. Even if in the notices it is written that only the precipitous concrete definition and explanation of precipitous concrete is going to be given today, but no, I'm going to make a very, very brief introduction to the precipitous concrete technology, but I'm going to try to give you some information. Could you hear me when I speak like this?
Yeah.
Our dear friends there, you say you can hear me? Good. I have some of my students here. I'm very pleased of seeing him between us, and we have some visitors from Middle East Technical University. I'm very proud of their coming as well. Now, everybody, I'm always talking, everybody driving a car. We all drive a car, but we don't know what's going on in the manufacturing of the car. There are lots of engineering projects and innovations and creations in the production of in the manufacturing of a car. Nobody thinks about it. Our engineers nowadays, they apply the precipitating concrete, but behind the precipitating concrete, the one of the most important thing is the production of the parts of the precipitated concrete, the anchorages, the anchor plates, or so on and so forth. That's the work of the civil engineer as well as mechanical engineer with their contribution. Now, in this lecture, after giving a very, very brief information about the precipitating concrete, I'm going to open your horizon to search the patent and to make an innovation for the precipitated concrete. What could we do in order to develop a patent instead of having a patent somewhere else, some state, from Germany, from France, or from Italy? Are we as engineers, are we able to produce a patent? Are we able to manufacture a patent? We are the engineers. Surely, if we make enough research, we are able to improve and patent. I'm going to inform about it. After finding the patent and to make this innovation, make this technology in certain limit, then as an engineer, we are supposed to sell it. Marketing of this manufacturing. To have the material is not enough. We have to sell it. We have to prove it. Now I'm going to tell it about the tactics and strategy of manufacturing, and then how we can sell it, how can we present it, the way of marketing. If any question, don't wait till to the end of the lecture. You can interrupt me anytime you want, and you can ask me. We are here, I accept that you are my colleagues, I'm talking with you as my colleagues, not like students. We are all engineers. I am a little bit exhausted of having such kind of nice people. Well, the name of the seminar or colloquium is Prestressed Concrete Analysis and Design, and I'm going to specially deepen development of prestressing system, patterns and technology. That's an introductory discussion on development of prestressing system patterns and respectively technology. Presentation is proposed for at least senior year students at the Department of Civil Engineering of the Atılım University, as well for master students. This colloquium would aim to give a brief idea of prestressing technology, materials used, and necessary devices and equipment with their design and development, as I told you before. Presentation of this technology, marketing of this technology to the engineering market is another aspect. How we are going to sell it. We produce something, but we have to sell it. Well, I started my course with Ararat Mount in Turkey, in Western Anatolia. And as I was a young engineer, an old engineer, he told me that there is no very difficult problems. All the problems could be solved just climbing a mountain step by step. That's a small mountain, not one of the highest mountains in Europe, Matterhorn, that's very well known. And we are going to climb to the Matterhorn, on the top of the Matterhorn, or we are going to climb to the Ararat. And after a while, we shall have a look what's going on. Post-tensioning is a method of construction for concrete structures in which tendons of high-strength steel are inserted in the structure in performed ducts after the concrete is cast, as shown in figure. In concrete courses or prestressed concrete courses, you have already know all these things about it. I'm not going to tell too much. I suppose that you are aware of this technology. Post-tension concrete presents several advantages over concrete reinforced with non-prestressed reinforcement, mild steel only. The deflections under surface loads are better controlled, and cracks in concrete are largely eliminated by compressive stress induced by post-tensioning process. Economically, the combination of high-strength steel in tension with high-strength concrete in compression leads to an optimal utilization of both materials and allows for smaller cross-section. Well, as I told you, in order to climb a mountain, in order to develop our technology, in order to develop our devices, in order to develop our anchor plate, we are going to start very slowly, step by step, to climb to the mountain. I'm going to tell a very, very short history of post-tensioning system. Post-tension concrete is based on the principles developed in the late 19th and early 1930s by the French engineer Eugène Freycinet for prestressed or pre-tension concrete. It is certainly not to forget to mention about the celebrated pioneers of prestressed concrete, Gustav Manuel from Belgium and Fritz Leonhard from Germany. And we shouldn't forget about the new development of calculating of T-winding of state. Post-tension concrete was first used in late 1930s for the construction of bridge in Europe. Eugène Freycinet built the first large prestressed bridge in South America, the Gallion Bridge near Rio de Janeiro. Precast beams of 37.5 meters in length were installed in the 14 spans of this structure. Certainly 37.5 meter span, and precast pretension beams today it is our all days project. The first post-tension concrete bridge in the United States was the Walnut Lane Bridge in the Philadelphia, built by the Belgian engineer Gustav Manger. Well, in order to solve the problems, we are supposed to go sometimes to glacier difficulties. We have to see the joints in the glacier, and we are supposed to spring above the glacier, and we are supposed to go our way firmly and slowly. Now, I'm going to talk about the materials, structural, constructional materials. As you see in the slide, we have three types of constructional materials. One is compression, the material who works, or the structure who works in compression. We have some materials working in tension, and especially we have a combination of both of them, compression and tension. What we have in compression? In earlier time, we had stones. Romans, they developed the arch bridges, arch structures in utilizing the construction material. We use bricks as well. After Romans, especially Byzantine, they are the founder and utilization of bricks. If you go to historical site, if you see the stones, you can immediately tell that that's a Roman or Greek structure. If you start to see some bricks, you can tell that that's somewhat Byzantine. Then we found the concrete. We found the concrete. In order to achieve the concrete, we had to, at that time, we had to use the limestone. Even in Anatolia, we are still using limestone just to paint, even make a cement myrtle or lime myrtle. And then on the other side, at the other part of the tensional system and tensional structural members, we were using all over bamboos. They were using. Still, we had some experiences with the bamboos as a tensional part. They use ropes and then steel bars, surely in classical reinforced concrete system, and wires. I tell, especially wires, they are the fast-stressing wires. If we combine concrete and some bamboos or steel bars, that will be a passive combination. After the structure has developed, they are not active. How it can happen they could be active? We are utilizing high-strength concrete with high-strength steel. That gives us an active combination of both of these members, so-called press-stressing. Through passive combination, as I told you before, we have reinforced concrete, and by active combination of concrete and steel, we achieve to the press-stressed concrete. Shall I make it stop? Any question? Good. Thank you. Now, I'm going to take the material especially concrete. And I'm going to tell you about some words about the concrete. The universal rule of reinforced concrete is valid as well for prestressed concrete. High tensile strength steel should be utilized with concrete with high compressive strength. The necessity of high compressive strength in concrete in prestressed concrete technology is apparent. It means the compressive stresses behind the anchor plates, especially its domain of work, determines the compressive strength of the concrete. The loss due to creep and shrinkage is another reason of utilizing concrete with high compressive strength. The development of prestressing concrete was in the early 19th, 20th centuries was very, very slow because of the material qualities. We didn't achieve the high quality tendons, high quality steels. We couldn't achieve the high quality concrete. What happens after making prestressing, because of the low quality steel and low quality concrete, we had some losses. On these losses, they are preventing to use the prestressed concrete as a structural material. And after having developed with our mechanical and metallurgical engineers developed a high tensile steels, then we were able to build prestressed concrete, so that we could use in all over the structural part prestressed concrete. The German specification for prestressed concrete give following values for concrete characteristics. You could find these tables all over the world. At least I just would like to say that concrete has to have a good quality because of the shrinkage, creep and shrinkage, because of the losses, and prestressed wires or tendons should have as well a high strength. It is very difficult to make manufacture a prestressed concrete structure with the concrete strength quality of 250 kilograms square centimeter or 25 Newton square millimeter. It is not possible. We are going to use concrete of compressive strength of 35 Newton square millimeter minimum. Prestressing steel. The ultimate strength of steel wires, strands or bars varies with their manufacturer, so that it's frequently necessary to obtain sample tests for each lot of product. However, the general range of values is listed in the table below. That's very important paragraph. Prestressing tendons or bars, it is not. It seems it is not difficult to produce, but to receive, to produce a homogeneous and good quality bar, it is not always possible. That's why these bars should be tested, each bar should be tested, and they have to be certified by Fédération Internationale de Préconférence, FEP, so that you could use the prestressing bars in your structures. If one of the bar in one of the small point has a defect, then it cracks and it disturbs all the prestressing technology, all the prestressing calculations, or so on or so on. Now, in this table, I'm going to give two tables: strength of 7 wires, standard wires, and strength of 7 wires super bars, which have the ultimate strength about 1,860 Newton square meter. This table you can find anywhere in the booklets or in internet. Prestressing cables, I divided the prestressing cables in two: wires, 0.6 inch wires, and strength. By bringing the wires together, we could build precast buildings members by single wires and bonding them together, or unbonded wires against single wires, but this time we use them for light and thin building materials. If we use wires in sheets, they will be bonded, and we can use them as single wires, and still we are using whether as multiple strength single wires in the light and thin building members. If we use multiple strength, then we start to use in high buildings one highly loaded members. If we have the strength bonded wires together, we have three types: unbonded strengths, bonded wires, and we use precast structural members from all these things for the bridges and high structures. There's not only the good mountains in Switzerland. We have a very, very nice mountain not far away from Ankara, Mount Hasan, 3,268 meters. And in order, as I told you before, in order to reach the top, you are supposed to work slowly, step by step. Sometimes young engineers comes and tells me, "Oh, sir, look, it's a very difficult problem. If I start it, I cannot do. I tell them, don't worry, the highest mountain could be achieved by walking, starting once. If you start once, it means you are going to reach the top. You are going to start in your profession step by step, and I'm sure that you are going to reach the top soon. Don't lose the courage. Always think, if you have a very difficult problem in front of you, always think that the mountains step by step, towards mountains and step by step, you are going to solve everything." Well, before coming to grout, one of the third important phenomenon of pre-stressing concrete, I will be very pleased if you have some questions. No questions. That's always the same. In Switzerland, I put some friends in my assistants in the group just to let them to ask. This time I didn't do it. If somebody asks a question, and everybody has the courage to ask other questions. If you have any question, don't hesitate. Ask me. I'm going to read to explain it. Okay, I'm going forward to grout. Grouting can be defined as the filling of duct. Hussein, you have a question. You don't have any question. Okay. You can ask, if you don't have enough courage, you are going to ask on Thursday. Grouting can be defined as the filling of duct with a material that provides an anti-corrosive alkaline environment to the pre-stressing steel, and also a strong bond between the tendons and the surrounding grout. Grouting of post-tension structures has double purposes: to protect the strength from corrosion and slippage, to develop the required ultimate moment capacity of the structure. Certainly, corrosion is one of the very, very important phenomena, not in pre-stressed concrete, as well in reinforced concrete. We have the cover in order to keep the bars in reinforced concrete, to keep them from corrosion. Corrosion is one of the biggest danger of the reinforced concrete, as we know. As well, we have the same problem in pre-stressed concrete. We have to keep the bars without corrosion. Grouting is a very important step in the overall stressing operation. There are 4 essential elements to a successful grouting job. Ducts that are fully encased in well-consolidated concrete, free of cracks. Proper materials that have been approved by FIP, Fédération Internationale de Préconférence. Proper equipment in good working order, procedures that produce good results. There are the 4 essential elements of a successful grouting job. Well, as you start to climb the mountain, you start to build a bridge or your structure with a small drawings. That's the first very preliminary design of, I called it Ottoman Bridge, one of the arch bridge what we have built in not far away from Ankara on the way on airport. Now it is built. The first beginning preliminary design and calculations about the techniques, about the abutments, about the spans. This page is the first drawings what I have done at that time, and then this project is developed. They did definitive so-called structural studies. They did application works and chart drawings, and today the bridge is in the service. Post-tensioning devices, as I showed you before in the figure 1.1, we have very schematically those members. Post-tensioning devices should be manufactured according to the corresponding standards of FIP and fulfill the following properties: tensional interaction, load, stress transfer, and dynamic load tests. As a material, we have principally three things. We need a casting bed, we need a duct, and we need a mold or formwork. The duct sheets, they keep the pre-stressing cables from the corrosion and allows us to stretch the tendons and then fill it by grafting material. Those are some bridges, shows some of the ducts, so-called sheets. Now, for the high buildings, for the tall buildings, for the slabs, these are utilizing, even if we use a circular ducts in the bridges, we use for the tall buildings on slabs, we use flat elliptical, as you see there, elliptical form of ducts in order to gain the moments due to the pressure stimulus, to increase the so-called the height of the parallel. Well, we are still in Mount Ararat. We didn't still arrive. Just we are on the 1,500 meters above the sea level, and we have to plan. We are supposed to planify how we shall climb these mountains. Anchorages. Anchorages that are one of the most important part of the pre-stress country. The tension is applied to the tendons located in the duct. After hardening of the concrete, the pre-compression is transmitted from steel to concrete by the anchorage device at the end blocks. Anchorages are steel ductile post-tensioning devices transferring the pre-stressing force to the hardened concrete. Essentially, there are two types of anchorages: stressing and step anchorages. Coupler could be treated as another type of anchorages. I'm emphasizing this parameter of anchorages, since the anchorages, they are the pattern of the pre-stressing. There are, I don't know, 10, 12 or 15 patterns in the world. They are all different type of anchorage systems and anchorages, and they are so-called certified by Fédération Internationale de Précontrainte. Very primarily, Freycinet, he has done his anchorage part with a high strength concrete blocks. They are the first 7 stressing anchorage of Freycinet. They are not steel. They are concrete, high strength concrete. A very modern developed anchorage head as it is seen here, developed by Freysine, and it is something like this. We have here, as you see, sheet, we have a trumpet, we have a strand, we have the wedges, and anchor head. Surely they are not so simple as you design, as you draw. You are supposed to calculate the thickness of sheet, diameter of sheet. You are supposed to calculate trumpet. If you don't have the trumpet, what are you going to put there instead of trumpet for against the splitting forces? You are supposed to put some spirals and the anchor head and so-called wedges and strand. And the strand of wedges, anchor head is important. One of the important things is the anchor head. Since the anchor head is distributing all the pressing forces on the concrete itself. Well, we are no more on the stony way, we are just in the snow and glacier. We are developing, we are step by step, we are going to the top. A very mathematical explanation of a stressing anchorage. And as I have shown you, all these dimensions are supposed to be calculated by engineers, not by civil engineers, and by the help and coordination of mechanical engineers, metallurgical engineers. They are supposed to give us the good combination of the material qualities. There are some other special type of stressing anchorages for flat slabs, for buildings, and for bridges as well. There are some depth anchorages photos here, from right to left, very, very primitive, very, very at the beginning, and just left and top, it's a modern depth and anchorage. Oh God, we are not far away from the summit. We are not far away from the top. That needs a group. This development of the technology, development of press-stressing system, development of the patent needs a teamwork, especially in, as I show you, in climbing. You have some questions? No? Okay. If you have no question, I'm going to for that.
Sorry.
Yes?
Can you give some information about FIP? I mean, is it the only authority in the world?
That's right. FIP is an authority founded, they are in Geneva, and they are founded by the producer, press-stressing devices producer they founded. They have their standards, not only the material, quality of material, as well for the details and for some text. On the other hand, parallel to FIP, there are national laboratories, national institutions, technical universities. They give this under the license of FIP. They give the patent. They control the development of the production and manufacturing, and they give patent as well under the license of FIP. I'm going to come soon. What we do in Switzerland for develop a press-stressing patent, what we are supposed to do, I'm going to come soon. It gives you more information. Thank you. As it was already mentioned above, there are three main substances in press-stressing technology. That's an examination question. Three main substances in press-stressing technology. Press-stressing steel, anchorages, ducts or sheets. It is not a course. There shall be no examination. No, just in my courses sometimes the important things I'm just telling them, pay attention. That's the examination question. The important part is certainly anchorages and their complementary components such as anchor plates, spirals, casting parts, trumpets, injection ducts, etc. They are supposed to be calculated. They are supposed to be calculated by engineers, mechanical engineers, civil engineers. We are the engineers. We are supposed to develop the things. We are not going to use the things that they have already developed. We are supposed to make the research. We are going to be the leader, and we are supposed to be find some innovative technologies. The important part is certainly anchorages, and I told you. The spirit in the technology is the engineering solution of the anchorages and its complementary parts, which leads to the so-called patent. I'm just emphasizing again, the spirit in the technology is in your hand, is the engineering solution, is your solution of these anchorages and its complementary parts, which leads to the so-called patent. The main function of the anchorage is the stretching and fixing. We are stretching and fixing. The method of stretching the strands, tendons or cables could be screwing, it could be by screwing, by screws, by hydraulic jets, and by wedges, by electricity, chemical processes, depending on the development of the patent. There are several things. Screwing, you stretching the cable, or by wedges, or sometimes you give electricity to the tendons, so that through the heating of electricity, it stretches and then stop the electricity, pour the concrete and squeeze the concrete. Well, if you are engineers, you are going to find other things. Probably you are going to find the trees and bind there and take the tractor and stretch the tendons. Fixing is a main complementary part of anchorages. Transfer the tensional stress to the concrete by means of anchor plates. Well, I mean, certainly we are supposed to fix the anchorages so that all the loads, all the resisting forces transfers to the concrete. It is again to emphasize that anchorages should be manufactured according to the corresponding standards FIP and fulfills the following properties: tensional interaction, load, stress transfer, and as well dynamic load tests. Developing a post-tensioning system needs a teamwork between civil and mechanical engineers, metallurgical engineers, technicians, and draftsmen in order to be able to attain the success. I.e., the following checklists include the minimum required information necessary for approval by EMPA, Switzerland. EMPA is Eidgenössische Materialprüfung und Forschungsanstalt, the Swiss Federal Laboratories for Material Science and Technology, for a new or modified post-tensioning system. If we prepare a post-tensioning system, a patent, we go to the EMPA and give us a patent in order that we can use this patent in the construction. They are testing them, they are looking them, and they do a very regular controls. And I'm sorry, somebody's calling me. So sorry, it's not expected. Atatürk bir konferansdayım, sonra aradım ben seni. I'm sorry. Yes.
Sir, in the process of straightening the strength.
Yes.
So, what level are we going to straighten, and what will happen if we overstraight the strength?
Well, as I have shown on the table, the ultimate strength of the bars, they are 17,000 kilogram square centimeter. It means 1,700 Newton square millimeter. We are supposed to stretch them only 0.7% of them. It means instead of 1,700 Newton square meter, we are supposed to stretch it 0.7 times the standard they say it, 0.7 times 1,700 Newton square meter. In our calculations, we take a safety factor again, and we are going to calculate with this stretching limit, reducing it with 0.7 as well. It means also in 0.7 times 0.7 times 1,700. So that well, no problem. But if we exaggerate, if we make stretching more than what is necessary, that's cracks, and it will be the biggest disaster. It happens before we stretching in this low level. If there is a defect on the, I'm emphasizing it, if there is a defect on the production or manufacturing of cable, it is a disaster for, it's a danger for the stress system. Okay? Developing a post-tensioning system needs a teamwork as we go up in the mountains or climbing. Between civil and mechanical engineers, technicians, metallurgical engineers, technicians and draftsmen in order to be able to attain the success. However, the following checklist includes the minimum required information necessary for approval by ENPA, Switzerland, for a new modified post-tensioning system. Well, we are more or less on the top. We developed our system. Now we are going to bring it to the ENPA. Officials of ENPA, so that they could say, okay, your patent is applicable. We are on the summit now. All processing systems that are proposed for use in Switzerland shall be submitted in the following form to expedite approval of the system or systems. 1. Description. We have to give a description. What we do, what we did, what we calculated, what we developed, we have to give a description. A current product description, literature of the system or systems being proposed. B. Prior listing of the system includes specific details of the project where it has been used, where we are going to use, in the bridges, in the buildings, or in the towers. Complete record of tests run on the system. Explain how seating loss is to be controlled and measured. We are supposed to control and give the detailed information about the losses. That's a figure to show. That's a figure from our metallurgical engineers, how they produce press-stressing tendons or press-stressing wires. Those stresses. Manufacturing stress of high tensile strength steel. And then we are going to present our hardware. It means we are supposed to give our anchor head detailed drawings, mill certificates from the factory that we have produced, manufactured this part, showing material composition, cadmium, carbon, or so on or so on, strength and manufacturer, and quality control documents we are supposed to give them. We are supposed to calculate the bearing plate, so-called anchor plates. We are going to give detailed drawings. We are going to mill certificate, quality control statement. And then we are supposed to give the wet or not exactly the same problems. From the detailed drawings as well, if you calculate the spreads. And we are going to give how we are going to make the processing design of hydraulic jets. Then we come to the calculations. We have to prove the calculations are according to standards and norms. Stress behind bearing plates at service load after losses. That's the duty of civil engineers. Stress behind bearing plate at 95% specified ultimate tensile strength. Maximum bending stress in bearing plate of 95% specified ultimate tensile strength. We are supposed to give the system detailed drawings of the anchorage system, jacking system, and duct and grouting details. Complete information on grouting procedures and equipment to be used. Description of how system components are protected from physical damage and corrosion. Description of tandem repair or replacement should a failure occur. Description of how qualified technical assistance is provided in the field for contractor performing the work. We have to keep this in. Now we are on the top. We can start to, we got the patent and we have to construct our organization diagram in order to start to marketing. We have a group of research and development. The studies they didn't finish. We have to produce. We have all these anchored parts, and we are supposed to produce them. That's a procuration. A group of procuration, a group of friends, they are supposed to buy the tendons, wires. Where are we going to import the tendons? From Belgium, from Spain, from Italy? Where, which one is the best as far as the quality concerned? That's the procuration. Or where are we going to buy the anchorage materials? After having all these things, the engineers overall the work, if they don't know the technology, they are afraid of utilizing the technology. We are supposed to give information and advise the engineers. How are you going to calculate? How it is the critique of the verifications? You are supposed to, as an engineer or processing developers, you are supposed to explain and give hints for the marketing and projecting consultancy. That's good. And then after producing the material, after producing the project, you are supposed to have a group of execution of the processing. Development of the anchorages and their complementary parts, anchor heads, anchor plate, spirals, trumpets, grouting boards, and duct sheets. That's the design and development, design versus project. Static and dynamic analysis and design of those parts and verification of their conformity of standards, norms, rules, and regulations. Contact with patent institutions and certification officials. That's the duty of the first group. Research and development, production versus workshop, application of the developed designs in the workshop. Essays of materials, essays, test of the materials, and all kinds of tests on the products. Essays, I'm sorry, it's French, it's test of materials. And then comes the procuration consultants, mainly procuration of the materials and equipment. All the devices, all parts of processing segments should be manufactured according to the corresponding standards of IP and fulfill the prescribed rules and regulations with the conceivable certificates, patents, and quality tests necessary. Procuration of those devices which are not all they test is quite delicate and should not give a chance to a failure. Now we open our horizon and we can go even north of the Turkey and go to the other mountains to develop. Marketing and projecting. We go to marketing. We go deep in marketing. Projecting and consulting works. Consulting the other engineers and design officers, beginning from the preliminary design, evaluation of bill of quantity, preparation of bidding documents, comparison with the other alternative and presenting the economy of the system, and convincing the client in this technology till to the execution plans and details. Structural calculations, stability, verifications, detailed studies are in the domain of this mission. Marketing is as well his principal task to make system and technology familiar with the state institutions private investors, architects, and especially engineers and students. Common effort with professional organizations to reach the opinion leaders through courses, seminars, colloquiums, and familiar meetings. Preparation of the technical documents, publication, and all kinds of advertisement is covered in this duty range. Situation in developed countries. In our country, state structures, mostly projected in abroad by foreign engineers groups and approved by the local officials and executed without taking into account of the economy. Private sectors, local engineers do not have the necessary experiences to attack the project and to propose the alternative technologies and solutions. Processing technology does not meet only the well-qualified materials needs as well as well-quality engineers and workmanship. Design offices, after having made the structural analysis and design work, they are supposed to prepare not only the formwork and mild reinforcement plans, but as well tendon disposition plans and their corresponding support with necessary execution details. Engineers, even in Switzerland, they don't like to use processing concrete. Why? First, normal reinforced concrete needs only a formwork and only the mild steel plans. But for a processing concrete project, you are supposed to formwork, you are supposed to put mild steel, you are supposed to reinforce processed concrete plants, and to carry the reinforced processed concrete parts, members, you are supposed to give another special plans for the support of the processing. Marketing and projecting consultants of the firm has to take the corresponding responsibility with the co-partner, engineering group, and or architects against the owner and laws. As a result, whether the local engineers get rid of to propose alternative solutions to the owner because of the risk and the amount of projecting and planning tests, or they make the project without support of specialists and make designs in very safe side without taking any risk, but that gives an economical solution and result. That's the suicide of the processing technology. Some of the engineers, they attempt to calculate, but they are still not very confronted with the processing technology. They project on safe side, very safe side, but on an economical side. Execution is in the construction site application, personal, finance, security, etc. As it is described above, execution needs a well-qualified technician and workmanship. Certainly we need an assistant secretary, personal, accounting, social services in our organization. And the general coordinator has much more things to do. To sell the product is one of the main issue of this post. Official investors, owners, contractors, architects, engineers, and the last students in the technical institution are the main objective of this domain of occupation. That's a small organigram of how the owner, architect, engineer, and contractor works together. That's the end of the seminar. I thank you very much. I wish it was not very boring, and thank you very much for your time. Now, if any question which arise, I'm ready to answer and ask if you have something in your heart. So.
Thank you. You have showed us how to take patents for the pre-stressing strands or the anchors. Did you perform this way? Did you perform this method to get the patent?
Yes.
Do you have a patent about it?
Yes, I did it.
Okay.
I did it. In Switzerland, I followed this method. I have in this organization diagram, I was the chief of the group. I have, as I told you, 5 or 6 people, mechanical engineer, technician, metallurgical engineer, and procreation specialist, and as well a very good engineers which are projecting, preliminary projecting, and there was a good execution group which I had the I was believing them, and I had a confidence on them. Since you are supposed to, as a projector, as an engineer, you are supposed to have a confidence on the execution part. If there happens something by them, it's very difficult to control them. For example, in 90 major high silo, if there happens something there, you are not there. You have to know what's going on. Yes?
Thank you to share your information and experience with us first thing. I want to ask, what is the differences between stress concrete and reinforced concrete under the lateral loads, like earthquake and wind load?
Well, it's a very, very important question. Thank you for asking the question. As far as the dynamic loads concerned, if you have a look, stress-strain diagram of the mild steel and pre-stressing steel, the pre-stressing steel has much more energy absorbing capacity as far as the dynamic loads concerned, earthquake load or dynamic loads. Today in Europe, high-speed railway institution, they propose to utilize the pre-stressed concrete bridges in order to, in one side, in order to protect the bridges for against fatigue, they say, no? Fatigue, against fatigue, and as against the dynamic loads attitude. That's the reason. Whether steel structures, they have a little bit weakness for the dynamic loads in highway railway structures.
That's all. I thank you very much, Mr. Göksu. I'm very happy to have you here. Thank you very much for your coming. If you have any question later on, you can see Mr. Göksu. You know, he's a staff, now part-time staff of our department. I'm very happy to have him in this department. I hope he will continue during summer lecture, and the next year he will help us to give certain courses. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think this is for you.